Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker, and if there's one thing I've learned since last Saturday, it's patience. A 3-hour and 20-minute drive back from Waldorf that night, and then a 2+ hour trek back from Landover on Monday, dictated by Old Man Winter, will teach you that, behind the wheel of a vehicle anyway. As for this, the Garmin VivoFit, a glorified pedometer, the patience is yet to transfer. In fact, I've become quite the slave to this thing on my wrist. I find myself never taking a direct walking route to anything anymore, just so I can achieve the goal, the number of steps it sets for me to get in each and every day. I even keep it on in the morning right up to the second I get in the shower, just to make sure every step is documented. And I'll confess, I'll accidentally forget items in the bedroom that I need in the bathroom just to get the extra 10 steps in to register. For example, I'll be like, oh, here are my boxers, but where's my shirt? Oh, darn it, it's over there on the bed. Better go get it. On a practical note, it's helped me become way more coordinated. I can now drink and walk without wearing anything that I'm drinking at the same time, and I'll challenge anybody to a teeth brushing and walking contest. Now, one of the hardest things for me to do is to sit still long enough to do this show. If I had a wireless mic, I'd be walking right now. I just can't shake the thought that I'm missing out on taking valuable steps. It's okay, though. I know this thing is not my boss. It merely suggests what I should do. It doesn't control me. I'll walk when I take a commercial break, I promise. It's said that patience is a virtue, so hopefully one day I'll be super virtuous. Coming out victorious was the goal for county wrestlers at region and state dual meets, and for county athletes at the 1A, 2A state indoor track and field championships. And that was all like 58,000 steps ago for me, and since last Wednesday for you. Ahead on today's show, I'll retrace their steps, see what I did there, and I'll try to get at least 200 of mine in before you come back. Don't go away unless you plan to come back the long way. That's my new philosophy. Now, somebody help me get this mic off, please. Time's wasting.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Winter is here, and despite the weather, it's still a great time for helping others. Driving, and just plain wearing shorts, tank tops, and sneakers. It's high school basketball season, and Antietam Cable proudly brings you coverage of county matchups throughout January and February. Watch the Boonesboro Warriors take on the Smithsburg Leopards Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m., Thursday at 5 p.m., and Saturday afternoon at 4:30, immediately following Inside Sports, where you can follow the county's high school winter sports season each week on WCL TV 30.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to the show. At the State Indoor Track and Field Championships on Monday, for the Smithsburg boys, the goal was all about repeating history. After all, the 1A West Region title holders came in as the reigning state champs, intent on defending the trophy with which they had walked away from the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex some 373 days earlier. While in 2014, it was an early injury to Caleb Cardone that rallied the team. This time it was a hurdles prelim miscalculation. My first mistake was handing Kyle Ebersol the microphone and asking him to tell me about his day. Clearly, as it turned out, I was far too general, and thus he started at the beginning, even referencing the fact that he and Adam Dwyer had the only seat on the bus with heat.
I mean, it started out, we left the school at 8:30 in the morning for an arduous ride here. I mean, for the rest of them, it was fairly cold. We got here, at 10 o'clock, and we rushed to find places to sit down and get warmed up. The meet started rather abruptly for us hurdlers. We had to get out there as quick as possible, and then there's a little accident we had. And actually, I kind of started to zone out at that point. but I think it went well. Someone tell me about their event.
Wait, hold on. We'll get to that, but first allow me, Kyle, if you don't mind, to show everyone how we even get there. The Leopards' first major point production came courtesy of Nate Craig's 36.41 second PR in the 300, a performance good for silver and 9 big team points. Later in the 500, Micah Daniel reached for gold, but missed it by all of 25 hundredths of a second, all the while securing another Smithsburg silver by 2/100ths of a tick and a blanket finish, whereby even the scoreboard had trouble making up its mind on the official order of finish. While the finish in the 3200 may not have been as tight, the result was the same for the Leopards, as told by fourth place runner Will Miller.
Well, Will Merritt and we both ran the mile and the 2 mile, and he was set up to score really well, and he did, and he actually gained a point or so. And I wasn't really supposed to score at all, but I really picked it up today, and I feel like that really contributed a lot. And the distance team altogether did really well today, and so did all the sprinters and hurdlers and field events, and everything went really well and in our favor.
Ebersol did his best with a still healing hamstring to stake his claim to a 4th in the 55 hurdles with a PR of 8.54. And Craig factored in again, coming back to add 7 points to the Smithsburg total by dashing home 4th in the 55 in her personal season best 6.69 seconds. Plus, Daniel wasn't finished either, continuing the purple and gold run on gold ribbons by capturing 1 in the 800. In addition, it was Adam Dwyer who joined earlier silver prospectors Craig and Daniel by digging deep for one of his own in the pole vault.
I did pretty well today. I PR'd by 6 inches and made 11, and I was so close to getting first, but the only thing that came down to was missing heights, and what it came down to is the height before it, which I missed 1 more than the other guy. So even though I was second, the other guy gave me a good handshake, and he was like, good job, because we were really close, and he knew that it could have went either way.
Hey, it's like I always say, the only suitable substitute for a gold medal is a good handshake. But shot putter Heath Hott doesn't subscribe to that school of thought. After uncorking a throw of 44 feet 6 inches, Hott was hot on the trail of the gold he coveted, and despite his reticence, he talked about it.
I tried to do my best today. I tried to PR. I was supposed to win this event today, and I was pretty happy that I did today also. But I like the people that are also in the event, and I also like the people that were in the event. They gave me some good competition, and they pushed me to my limits, and I PR'd today by 6 inches. Inches
and hundredths of seconds, they all help separate the champions from the runners-up. And for the second year in a row and the third in the last 4, Smithsburg's boys came out on the right side of that team title tussle. The Leopards outdistanced second-place Fairmont Heights by 7 and third-place Central by 8 points to keep the state championship in Smithsburg. And while TJ Hood wins his first as head coach, as you'll see, even the coaching was a team effort.
Well, the boys did absolutely outstanding. I have to thank the assistant coaches, obviously. They did a remarkable job getting the kids ready for today. Started with the boys 4x8. Got a couple points there, and from there we just kept rolling. We had a little bit of an issue. Will Ewing stumbled in the hurdles. He hit a hurdle and didn't finish, so he didn't make the finals and didn't score, and that was unfortunate. But I told the guys that that's life. Sometimes you get tripped up in life, and then it's about how you respond. And from there on, the boys did an outstanding job of just picking up points wherever we could. All in all, I can't ask for much more than guys stepping up and doing their job and even doing a little bit better.
Congratulations to Coach Hood and the Leopard boys, the 1A state titleists. In 2A, as for the Boonesboro boys shot put duo of Alec Nittinger and Tony DiGiuseppe, 2 seniors who had been inseparable all season, the same was the case on Monday. However, the result was bittersweet. For Nittinger, who came in with the best qualifying throw of the 12 competitors, it just wasn't his best day. The expression on the top seed's face rarely changed, and that told the story. Conversely, the news was better for DiGiuseppe. He established a new PR with a heave of 47 feet 2 1/4 inches, but that left him 1 foot 1 1/4 inches short of the mark he needed, as DiGiuseppe and Nittinger ended up 3rd and 4th, respectively. It was yet another back-to-back finish, just not the one for which they had hoped. As it relates to the girls, optimism ran high in the Smithsburg, Boonesboro, and Williamsport camps. The question was, how many of these were coming back to the county? The answer after I get some steps in, after this break.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Don't give in to the winter blahs when bad weather hits. Sleet, ice, and snow days are perfect days to cuddle up with Antietam Cable. Antietam Digital Cable offers a huge selection of on-demand movies and shows to watch when you're snowed in. It's like having a multiplex movie theater right in your own home. Ordering is simple. Go to Channel 1 to make your selection, and your choice plays instantly. Pause, fast forward, rewind, you're in control. Stay warm, stay inside, and make Snow Day Movie Day with video on demand from Antietam Cable.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to the show. And more 1A, 2A state championship indoor track and field now. And prior to Monday, the Smithsburg girls had never captured an indoor state title. And after Monday, they still haven't. They did get as close as they had ever gotten, though, matching 2010's runner-up finish. But this one felt like a win for a number of reasons. Coach Hood recaps the highlights of a tremendous Leopard showing.
Yeah, the girls did outstanding. I said on last show that we were down by about 20 points. Our girls would have to make up those 20 points. And they actually made up about 25 points. Manchester Valley did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they stepped up. And that's sports. You know, you hope that you perform your best when it matters most, and the girls did that. Gabby Reason did phenomenal today. Set 2 school records. Well, set 1 and broke 1 of her own. And then did a nice job on 2 relay teams. She did phenomenally today. Mallory Moholt had a real tough day. She ran the 4x8, the 1600-meter run, and the 3200-meter run. And she got 3 medals as a result. So she did outstanding. And a lot of girls just stepped up and got a couple extra points. Glenda Castillo in the shot put. Our high jumpers got a couple more points than we were supposed to get. Haley Hardney and Megan McCulsey scored more points in the hurdles than they were supposed to. Quinn Wondolowski and Fiona Zom in the 800-meter run scored more points than they're supposed to. On and on and on. If I left anyone out, I apologize, but they did an absolutely outstanding job. And as a coach, that's all you can ask, is that your athletes step up when it matters most. And they stepped up. Unfortunately today, the better team won. And that's okay. There's absolutely no reason any of the girls on our team should be hanging their heads today.
The least of which would be Reason and Moholt, who collectively look like cash for precious metals dealers afterwards, wearing 5 medals around their necks between them. Reason, who said right here that she's rarely satisfied with her performances, had to be at least slightly impressed with what everybody else witnessed. After defending her crown in the 55-meter dash on the strength of a 7.36 second PR, Reason shredded her PR and the Smithsburg school record en route to a come-from-behind 42.04 second sprint to win the 300, an event she said less than 2 weeks ago was still a work in progress for her. Well, this just in, labor complete. Reason contributed 20 points to the Smithsburg team total of 86. In the meantime, Moholt provided 18 individually thanks to silver medal earning performances in both the 16 and 3200. And coming on the biggest stage, the sophomore's time of 12:31.11 in the 3200 was her fastest of the season. Additionally, she was part of the bronze-winning 4x800 relay team, and along with the many other names Coach Hood mentioned, it was a day that took 6 Manchester Valley golds to prevent Smithsburg's first as a team. And it could get a whole lot tougher next year when Boonesboro returns to 1A after 2 seasons in 2A. As for the Warriors on Monday, quite simply, they had a Haley problem. Megan Grams was the first to experience it in the 1600. Grams looked all of the vaunted star that she was prior to her foot injury through most of the race. The Eastern Kentucky signee set the pace and even went on to set both indoor PR and school records by posting a time of 5 minutes, 5.91 seconds, and that would have been great if not for Haley Jackson. The lanky Patuxent sophomore bided her time, sitting off of Grams and then going by on the final lap to establish a new 2A state record of 5:01.95, to which Megan could only flash a smile. Later, Haley Wright, who was already way too familiar with Haley Jackson's rallying style, which Jackson used to defeat Wright at the state cross-country championships, sought a measure of revenge in the 3200. Wright had been building toward this race all season, and it looked like it as the Boonesboro junior opened up on the field, leaving Jackson back and forth. But the evil Haley had no designs on going away and began a steady ascent on Wright, seemingly cutting into her lead with every lengthy stride. With about a lap and a half remaining, Jackson made her pass and opened up distance the rest of the way to win by nearly 11 seconds. Along with Grams and Ella Hawkins, Wright later went seeking that elusive gold in the 800. While she didn't have Jackson to deal with there, Oakdale's Charlotte Kowalk played the role of personal obstacle. Kowalk got the lead early and never gave it up. Grams valiantly gave chase, but on a day that the Boonesboro girls would have been better off in a lawyer's office, since all they could do was settle for 3 individual silvers and for 4th place as a team. Yes, behind 3 region nemesis, champion Oakdale, Liberty, and Century, consolation came hard, but it wasn't something Coach Walter didn't anticipate. By virtue of the fact that there were only 3 girls representing Williamsport, the tiny Wildcat contingent, comprised of county champions Lakia Mills, Jordan Morris, and Blurina Rookie, expected tough going, and they more than got it. Rookie cleared 9 feet in the pole vault, but was then disqualified. Freshman sensation Morris finished 7th in the hurdles and tied for 8th in the high jump, and Mills came in 9th in the shot put. While the 1A and 2A participants rode back in the snow on Monday, it was the accumulation of that snow that postponed competition for 3A and 4A qualifiers from Tuesday until next Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Well, with half the state champions crowned in indoor track and field, we shift gears to battles for region and state dual meet wrestling titles. How Williamsport and North Hagerstown fared when you come back.
Since 1963, you've been trusting the folks at Hagerstown Floors. It's still a family-owned and operated business featuring a variety of high-quality flooring choices for your home, like carpet, ceramic, hardwood, vinyl, and we offer floor sanding and refinishing for your existing hardwoods. And you'll find us stocked warehouse, full of flooring options for do-it-yourselfers, or take advantage of our in-house installers for expert installation. Hagerstown Floors on Virginia Avenue in Hagerstown, the trusted name in flooring since 1963.
Winter is here, and despite the weather, it's still a great time for helping others. Driving, and just plain wearing shorts, tank tops, and sneakers. It's high school basketball season, and Antietam Cable proudly brings you coverage of county matchups throughout January and February. Watch the Boonesboro Warriors take on the Smithsburg Leopards Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m., Thursday at 5 p.m., and Saturday afternoon at 4:30, immediately following Inside Sports, where you can follow the county's high school winter sports season each week on WCL TV 30.
If there's one thing my dad taught me, when life doesn't go exactly how you plan, keep it simple. Sometimes a few curveballs are thrown your way. With one visit to Bank of Charlestown, they helped me map out a strategy to start the next chapter of my life. Even though I work with my hands, I still work with people. That's what BCT does best. They're my trusted advisor for all the details and whatever comes next.
From home improvement loans and mortgages to business lines of credit, find out what a partnership with BCT can do for you. BCT, we simplify your financial life. Now in Hagerstown.
Welcome back to the show. In wrestling, last Wednesday, both the 2A, 1A West and 4A, 3A North region dual champions would be crowned right here in the county before the night was over. Williamsport entertained ambitions that it would be the former and North Hagerstown the latter. Hosting the duels for the first time in history, the top-seeded Wildcats looked very comfortable on their own mat against fourth-seeded Century in semifinal action. Devin Nally, St. John Shoup, Barry Lozer, Kobe Baker, Austin Keetle, and Austin Golden strung together 6 straight victories to open the match, with Keetle's pin 46 seconds into the second period, giving him 100 wins in his career. Cody Crawford and Justin Beckley proceeded to prevail too, to push Williamsport to an insurmountable lead that clinched the Cats' first ever region dual match victory. It was also their school record 22nd W of the season, bettering last year's total of 21. Williamsport now needed one more to send them to wrestle for the state dual meet title on Saturday. It was the third-seeded Middletown Knights, 38-32 winners over Northern Garrett in the other semi, who stood in the way. The Wildcats again got off to a quick start, spreading out to a 9-0 lead on the strength of decisions by Shoup, Lozer, and Baker. After yielding 6 points on a forfeit, Keetle got them right back with his second pin of the night, but that's where the good times came to a screeching halt. A now healthy Middletown team that Williamsport had bested 2 months earlier captured 7 of the remaining 9 bouts to avenge December 13th's 36-30 setback with a 40-23 triumph that ended the Cats' quest for both the 2A, 1A West region and state dual meet championships. It was a history-making night for both teams, but it was 26-4 Middletown who earned the first trip in its history to the state duels at North Point High School. Now, who from the 4A, 3A North region would join the Knights there? Williamsport head coach Mike Rektorovich told me last week before he left that he thinks North Hagerstown is the best team in the state. High praise, but with that comes expectations, and with those, pressure, all part of being at or wanting to be at the top of the mountain. Undefeated once again and 6 days removed from the MPSSAA's Appeals Committee's reversal of the 8-match penalty imposed for using a wrestler who was below his minimum weight at the time, the Hubs could fully concentrate on wrestling for a region duels title last Wednesday. Sort of. Their opening semifinal against the 4th-seeded Perry Hall Gators turned out to be a concession by the Baltimore County School. Perry Hall chose to compete in just 4 of their scheduled 14 bouts, and as you might surmise, lost decisively, 70-3, virtually handing North a free pass to the region final. The Hubs' opponent turned out to be the same one they defeated to advance to the state duels a year ago, the 2nd-seeded 22-1 Urbana Hawks. While 2014 showdown was a thriller, this one wouldn't be nearly as exciting. Tied at 9 after 4 bouts, the reigning North Region champs went about defending that crown. The Hubs came out on top in the next 3, punctuated by Aaron Brooks's pin with 21 seconds left in the first period of his match. 5 bouts later, 2 won by Urbana. Dylan Brown ensured victory for North Hagerstown on the strength of a 38-second pinfall. The Hubs' final margin of victory was 27 points as they won the last 5 matches to cap a 43-16 triumph, their 29th without a defeat this season, to repeat as 4A, 3A North Region champions. Next up for North Hagerstown was South Region titleist Huntingtown in a state semifinal last Saturday at noon. After dropping the opening bout, Aaron Brooks and Hunter Faith won decisions before Isaiah Brooks scored a pin to extend the Hubs' early advantage. Huntingtown tightened things up by winning back-to-back decisions, but Brown got North back on the winning track. While the Hubs went just 3 and 4 the rest of the way, 2 of those wins were fast ones of the 6-point variety by Aaron Dobson and then Brian Stewart, just enough to send North onto the state duels final opposite top seed, fellow unbeaten, and defending champion Damascus. For the 2nd year in a row, North's path to the state crown would have to go through the Hornets. The match started at 1:32 with the Hubs' Aaron Brooks opposing Michael Wilkerson. Brooks fell behind 2-0 in the opening 35 seconds, but would escape to even things with less than a minute remaining in the first period. Another escape put him ahead for the first time in the match with 1:08 left in the second. Then in the third, tied at 3, Aaron Brooks showed off his flair for the dramatic, scoring the bout-winning takedown with just 3 seconds to go, an exhilarating way for North to embark on winning a championship. Next up at 1:38, Hubs senior Hunter Faith took on Damascus's Brendan Parent. Faith wasted no time jumping in front from the opening whistle and then added 2 more points with 15 seconds left in the first to take a 4-1 lead to the second. Parent wouldn't go away easily, though, and Faith needed a strong finish to put him away, pulling off a pivotal reversal with 40 seconds remaining in the third to wrap up a 7-4 decision and give North a 6-0 edge. Isaiah Brooks followed for the Hubs at 1:45 against Corey Obendorfer. Brooks fought back from a 3-1 deficit, and Coach Slick's cheerleading seemed to pay dividends in the third period. Halfway through, the elder Brooks took the lead for good and went on to get the Duke 6-4. Yes, it was 3 wins to none, but all of them had been for the minimum amount of points. Damascus was down, yet far from out at 9-0. And after the Hornets claimed 6 in one fell swoop with a pin at 152, a struggle was about to ensue in the 160-pound weight class with Coleman McCose of the Hubs facing nemesis Johnny Fisher. McCose, who had lost the 2 previous encounters, took the upper hand only to relinquish it 6 seconds later. Then with 43 seconds left in the first period, McCoes went up again by 2, a lead that would become 1 by the end of the period. After Fisher knotted it up early in the second, McCoes took his third 2-point lead that Fisher almost immediately sliced back to 1 with 3 minutes and 11 seconds still to wrestle. McCoes held on to chalk up a huge win personally and team-wise to give North a 12-6 cushion after 5 bouts. Next at 170, the Hubs sent out once-beaten Dylan Brown versus the Hornets' Owen Brooks. Brown dented the scoreboard first, executing a takedown that vaulted him on top 2-0, only to give the 2 points back on a Brooks reversal 18 seconds later. Then with 1:16 left in the second, with Brown appearing to be controlling the action, Brooks reversed him again to take a 4-2 lead. Brown snatched 1 point back 46 ticks later to make it 4-3 with a quarter of the second and all of the third period still ahead, but no more points were scored, and Brown fell short as Damascus crept closer 12-9. At 182, the Hornets made it successive pins with Ari Cacapardo putting Ray Montez in a 7-1 hole and going on to record an 8-4 decision to square the match at 12. The next bout at 195 was a marathon. Dursun Akhmedov of North struck first, a minute 18 in, to take a 2-0 advantage over Andy Bosch. That would be the greatest point separation of the entire match, and tied 3-3, 6 minutes would not be enough, and then neither would 7. Akhmedov finally snapped the deadlock early in the second overtime, the first of 2 30-second periods, which he clearly forgot. Bosch proceeded to retie it in the second OT, setting up the sudden death third overtime period, where Akhmedov escaped 5-4 and put North back ahead 15-12. Alex Dar then represented the Hubs at 2:20 against Michael Bradshaw. Dar battled back from an early 2-0 margin to tie the bout at 2, then ran out of time to end it at the end of the first. But Dar rolled that momentum into the second and rang up a quick 3 to grab his first lead at 5-2, but Bradshaw would force him to pull off this escape at the very end of the period to get out of it with the lead. Now trailing 7-6 in the waning moments, here's how it played out. North begged for 2, but didn't get them. Instead, the Hubs were docked 1 team point and suddenly trailed for the first time all match 15-14 with 5 bouts still to be contested. At 285, senior Aaron Dobson provided a newfound sense of urgency, pinning Lane Hunt a minute 49 in to restore order and a North Hagerstown lead 20-15. Hoyt Cheney followed for the Hubs at 106 by building a 4-0 lead against TJ Macklin, and with his coach exhorting him, he held off Macklin for a 5-3 decision that gave North an 8-point separation with 3 bouts to go, so the Hubs needed just 1 win to claim victory, but could ill afford a pin against them, which is exactly what happened 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the 113-pound bout when Mikey Macklin held Dalton Tiffany's shoulders to the mat to draw Damascus within 23-21. It didn't appear as though it was going to matter, though. In the following match at 120, Brian Stewart took a 2-1 lead to the third and led 3-1 when all of a sudden Scott Obendorfer racked up 4 quick ones out of nowhere to put Stewart in a 5-3 hole with 48 seconds remaining. Stewart managed to get 1 back in the final 20, but could get no closer as Damascus took a 24-23 edge to the final bout, one that turned out to be a wild one at 126. The Hornets' David Cregan opened a 6-3 cushion after 1 and threatened to run away with it, but as Brown looked on, Alamzan Yakazov came to life, first tying it with 3 points in the first 22 seconds of the second, and then made it 7 unanswered with 40 seconds left in the period. Cregan fought back, though, to close to within 1 by the end of 2, and then tied at 10. Cregan's takedown with 1:14 left put him in front 12-10. North senior Brown could only ponder what could have been as he and the Hubs ran out of time and matches as Cregan culminated a 9-point run for a 15-10 victory, Damascus's 3rd consecutive in the match that sealed the Hornets' 3rd straight 4A, 3A dual meet state championship. It was extremely tough for the Hubs to accept the same cruel fate for the 2nd year in a row, suffering their first loss in match number 31. Regions and states still lie ahead, as does the county championship that North won in dominating fashion a year ago. The counties are this Saturday at Smithsburg. And I'm more than out of time, and I don't need this to tell me Next week, the aforementioned county wrestling results and the basketball playoff brackets. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets.